Guys, pull up, man. We gotta talk about this Oblivion stuff. I've never seen a game, especially on the caliber of Oblivion, be promoted like this in any way, shape, or form. And I've been doing this for a while. What's going on, you guys? Gaming out here coming at you with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. You guys know that if you've been following me for even a remote amount of time, you know I have always cared about this IP. I've cared about the Elder Scrolls franchise in general, but when it comes to this particular one, I really care about it. And you know, Skyrim is definitely my favorite Elder Scrolls, but I think this one is my most memorable one. I don't know. I really enjoyed Morrowind as well, but Oblivion, great concept, great execution. It was damn near a perfect game. There was a lot of things that they could have done better, but it was damn near a perfect game. Bunch of nitpicks. So for a while now, we have been told that the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion was going to get a remaster, and we've been hearing about these rumors for a while now. I think I've actually made videos about it, but now it's looked like this is actually out there. This information's been leaking everywhere. I don't know why Bethesda is handling the way that they're handling this. Here's my thing. Maybe you guys could put in the comment section below. Maybe I'm mistaken when it comes to this. But when it comes to something like this, I've always felt like this is a huge IP. Like this is something that like you can brag about that you're making. You are remaking or remastering to a huge degree one of the most memorable games in history, Oblivion. A lot of people like Oblivion. A lot of people like it. To the point where let's pop up and let's see a there's actually some comparisons with the screenshots that happened. So as you can see, like it's a significant difference. Like it's not something small. Like this, they did a little bit of work to this. They did a little bit of work to this. But when it comes to something like this, like how do you guys think they would formally announce something like this? How do you guys think that they would push this? To me, you would do a standard reveal at like a June showcase or a Jeff Keighley, and then you would slowly start to push this out, and you would promote it. You get it on everything because it's Oblivion. It's Oblivion, man. So it's one of the most loved games in history. But how is Bethesda? They're considering shadow dropping this. Now, I think at this point, if these are even remotely true, right now the rumor is sometime next week they're dropping this. And it's going to be a shadow drop. You can just go play it. Supposedly it's in Game Pass. I would assume it's in Game Pass. That is a Bethesda IP. And you'll just be able to download it and you'll just be able to play it. And that's fantastic. But I'm a little worried about what's going on with this because to me, with Oblivion, it's gigantic. It's massive. If you market this game effectively, I feel like you would capitalize more than just shadow dropping it. You know, Bethesda, I felt, learned when it comes to shadow dropping, I felt they learned with Hi-Fi Rush. And Hi-Fi Rush was like a different scenario because they was at a direct. And they're like, look, you can go play this game right now. To my knowledge, they're just shadow dropping this from Twitter or X or YouTube or whatever they're going to do. It's some social media. It's not even at an event. They're just shadow dropping this sucker. And I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like this is something massive. Let's pop over here and look at some of the changes that supposedly they got from these leaks. So the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered images details have leaked, supposedly releasing both at the end of the month. They have blocking inspired by Souls-like games. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, maybe it's just a stamina type of thing. I can't remember if Oblivion had one. I'm sure someone can correct me in the comment section below. You got a sneak icon now highlighted. So that's pretty much from Skyrim because Skyrim had that. Stamina system modified. Yes, so they did have some kind of stamina system. Very curious what they mean by blocking inspired by Souls-like games. Like a parry system? I don't know. HUD changed. We could use that. Hit reactions added. So when you're hitting people, they're going to be reacting to it to a degree. And then you got your archery completely overhauled. That's good. I think we can all appreciate that. They even have some stuff leaked on here. You see, the deluxe edition with the actual physical. That's interesting. Here's some more comparisons. Here's an Oblivion Gate, and then you have Into the Sewers, and it looks like that might be the case itself. Look, this is a massive IP, and I'm just worried that when you shadow drop something like this in the way that they're shadow dropping it, I'm worried that they won't end up getting what they personally feel like they need to get. We saw what happened on Hi-Fi Rush, and I feel like there was a lot of eyes on that. Now, this is different. I would say the PC crowd is really going to pick up on this game. Even though it's in Game Pass, it's going to be one of those games that's still so well on Steam because it's a very PC-orientated game. Oblivion was definitely on consoles actually own it on Xbox, but, it's way more of an influence, way more structured when it comes to PC. You got the mod support, PC gamers are going to love this game. I'll probably end up playing this on PC. I don't know where I'm going to stream it on the Addict Arena channel, so definitely look in the comment section below for that. I'm just a little bit starstruck on how they're handling all of this. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I feel like this is a big game. This is something that you can put on the streets. Maybe it's because it's a remaster. They're worried that they're going to get a lot of feedback for not improving anything more than what they're improving. Maybe people feel like now these companies, unless you're going to give us like a Resident Evil form or a Final Fantasy 7, which I don't know if you can even count Final Fantasy 7. It's not really the same game, but if you don't give these type of level remakes, maybe now when you do something like an Oblivion where you do rehash a lot of stuff, you update a lot of stuff, it's still not remaking it. So maybe, Bethesda's looking at that. Maybe Xbox is looking at that and was just like, this is probably something better that we don't put a whole lot of hype into. We just drop it. And I can understand that. It's just, to me, this is Oblivion. I've never seen a game on Oblivion's caliber, even if it's a remaster, just get shadow dropped. Yeah, most of the time they want to put a marketing budget behind this. Maybe that's it. Maybe they don't want to market it. They just want to shadow drop it. Marketing's expensive. People don't realize how expensive marketing is. I think there's a variety of reasons that can happen. I am very curious how they restructure the whole archery thing. Now, if you guys ever played Skyrim, when you would shoot a arrow in Skyrim, what would happen is it would do kind of a kill cam that would happen in the Sniper Elite franchise. So I'm hoping they add that to it. I don't know exactly what they mean by restructuring the archery. It is a big thing in there. I'm curious how some of these aspects are going to look. How the Citadel is going to look. Because Oblivion is a massive area, and it's been a long time since I played that, and I'm curious to see what the Oblivion gates look like, especially the actual inner gates of Oblivion, especially that one mission where they summon that giant Oblivion gate and there's a giant fight outside of it. I'm curious to see how that looks, how you go into these Oblivion sections and how much they've enhanced that. There is some really nice giant scale fights in Oblivion. See how they redo that. I'm mad hyped for this. I want to play Oblivion. I'm just a little bit curious on who decided that the right move for this was to shadow drop it, because in my personal opinion, this is a game that is big enough, that came from such a huge fan base, because the Elder Scrolls franchises, they're huge. People are looking forward to 6. Obviously, there's a giant joke going around about remaking Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim over and over again. Valid. Maybe that's one of the reasons too, because they do put a lot of energy behind the Skyrim ones. But this is Oblivion. We haven't had Oblivion in a long time, man. Oblivion came out in what? Elder Scrolls Oblivion. When did this sucker come out? This came out in 2006. 2006. Almost 20 years we haven't had an Oblivion game. Oh, well, we haven't had Oblivion. Someone else said that too when it comes to Oblivion. A lot of people feel like Skyrim and Oblivion are they don't realize that they're took place in certain sections of Tamriel. It's the whole continent, the whole world of the Elder Scrolls franchise and you're just playing at a different section, you know. So I'm kind of curious on how stuff like that works too. You know, we'll see, man. We'll see. I think a lot of people are going to be excited to play Oblivion. I'm going to be excited to play Oblivion. It's just I'm very curious to see why they handled the way that they handled in terms of that. We are going to get a huge drop of games this next couple months. Man, Game Pass, yeah, the Game Pass looking good, man. Game Pass looking good. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel about this. I'm very curious to your guys' opinion on this. Is Oblivion something that you guys think should be shadow dropped, or is this the type of game that should be shadow dropped? Because that's just my opinion. If you guys have a difference of opinion that, you know, Oblivion is a big enough game to shadow drop, imagine if it didn't get leaked. If it didn't get leaked, it would be big to get shadow dropped. But I'm just curious exactly what happens going into the future. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. You know, I've been making more content related to games and not just the practices of the industry when it comes to consoles. A little bit of a change in the end in the channel, but you guys are sticking through with me. You guys are sticking it through with me. But put in the comment section below. I'm very curious to your guys' opinion. Until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Oh, I can't wait to play Oblivion Remastered. Remake. I don't know what you guys want to call it.